Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast, which is brought to you by Factor Pre-Prepared Meals. Sam has a code if you want to try it for yourself at the end of this podcast.
Okay, so it's Friday, my favorite After the Show podcast, where we dig into your comments and emails and questions. So this is all about you. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the reels that I shared this week when I was traveling for work, guys, well, I went to a little mixer one night, and I was at the bar with our friend Jim, and he was like, "What do you want?" And I said, "French 75. It's my favorite drink." And the bartender looked at me like I had a third eyeball and was like, "I don't have the stuff to make that." He knew what it was, but he didn't have champagne or sparkling wine. So I was like, okay. And he says, "You can see the list of drinks I can make." So he had a little board sitting there that showed, he could make an old fashioned.
Shirley Temple.
And it said Tom Collins. And I have never had a Tom Collins. And I read the ingredients, and it was like gin and lemon and simple sugar. And I was like, I'll take that. I've never had one. And I had one. It was the only drink I had. And it was delicious. Never.
My mom used to drink Tom Collins.
Yeah?
But it was like some powdered mix, I think, that you poured into water. But she added vodka to it.
Well, sure. I think you can add vodka, but the basic recipe is gin instead. Yeah. Anyway, it was my first time ever having it, but it was light and delicious. And so I posted about it. Sasha says, my go-to for years.
Really?
Yeah. Carol says, I had my first Manhattan last fall and didn't hate it either. The old tried and true drinks are the best for some reason. It's like, that's cool to know.
Yeah.
We just talked about that the other day, too. I know you guys don't drink anymore, but I'm saying when I went Facebook Live a couple weeks ago, it's like, if you don't know what to order, that's okay. Nobody says because you become an adult, you have this long list of knowing all the adult stuff. It's taken me my whole life.
You decided, if you like it, like when I was drinking, an old fashioned never did it for me. Now, it's because I don't really like whiskey. You know what I mean? So that was not. It was not my thing. Yeah. But, but yes,
a lot
until
of people
you try
love
it,
that.
you don't know it, right?
Yeah.
You know where I used to get hung up when I was ordering it? It was always, if I was drinking beer, that those places that have like 60 or 80 taps.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like you go in and it's like, oh, well, that looks good, but that one looks good too. And that one, and it's like, pick one, dude.
Too many decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Too many to choose from.
Yeah. Too many choices, yeah.
That's actually cool, though, for a place to
it's
offer
great that
that
you offer that many, but yeah.
What I have done when that situation has presented itself, I will just ask the server, "What do you have that's fruity?
Yeah,
or what do you have that's light for somebody
true.
like me?"
And I have had them in the past give you a little sample cup.
Right. Oh, I never asked for a sample cup. I didn't think to do that. Very clever.
Can I have another sample cup? How about a third?
Okay, so more on the Tom Collins. Tom Collins is my fave. That's from Chris. Classic cocktail from Regina. I've forgotten about it, that I love it. Thanks for the reminder. I mean, this is just a funny thing I wanted to share.
When she said classic just now, it made me think, I know that they're still made. I know they're still served. But seeing that on a board does kind of scream old school to me a little bit. Because I had to stop and think, and I really don't.
Have you ever had one? Did you ever have one?
I don't think I did. I don't think I have. I've had gin, but I don't think I've ever really had a true Tom Collins.
Terry said, "Oh my, a Tom Collins is my fave, Jodi. Welcome." Kathleen said, "My favorite. I order it with vodka instead of gin."
Okay.
So
That's
funny.
the way my mom used to
Anyway.
drink.
Do you remember, I know this from when I was a little kid and adults with us would order drinks, but they'd order a highball.
Yeah, my dad would order a highball.
What is that?
Is that a specific drink or is that just in a tall glass or...
I would have to Google that to see. It sounds old school.
I just
to me.
remember, give me a highball. And it's like, what's a highball?
Yeah.
What's funny about...
I think that's a scotch or a whiskey drink.
Google it.
Let me
Google
real
it.
quick.
What's
I'm
funny about
curious.
all this is I didn't grow up in a family where there was a lot of drinking going on out in the open. There was some of it going on the low, and my grandmother, but... Not Pawpaw's wife.
Thanks for naming names.
Not the preacher's wife.
The preacher's wife. There was some drinking on the down low.
There was some, hidden drinking going on. And so my parents didn't have a lot of alcohol in the house. My dad would have a beer every once in a while. But what I'm saying is when I was old enough to drink and I would be going out with my friends, I also felt inferior because I didn't have any alcohol game.
Yeah.
So the reason I share that like a childlike Tom Collins childlike is because it is childlike to me for me to discover something that I really love.
Yeah.
Right.
That, oh, that's nice. Now I know I like that. Put that in my back pocket for when I don't know what to order.
So highball, they can be any kind of alcohol. A highball itself is just, it's diluted with more of a either, carbonated water or other, that's what a Tom Collins is. That's probably why you enjoyed it, because it has a smaller amount of alcohol. It's not as intense of a hard alcohol drink. So
What's funny is I felt it though.
7 and 7, gin and tonic, Screwdriver, Tom Collins, rum and coke, whiskey highball, vodka cranberry. Those are all examples of highball. So it's just an old school term.
Okay.
But it's basically just, instead of it being straight up, hard liquor, it's mixed with more. It's watered
More
down.
tolerable
It's watered
to
down,
drink.
right.
It's more enjoyable
Yeah.
to drink that way.
And served in a tall glass.
And I liked it a lot, but I only had the one. That's all I really wanted, So anyway, I didn't bring that up to make that our whole focus. I want to read an email that we got from Teresa, because today is also Grateful Friday.
Okay.
Grateful for our 3 children and their spouses. They came to us and said, for all of us, we need to do this. We're going to take a family vacation together. All expenses are paid. You only have to bring spending money. There will be 14 of us going. That means that's a big family.
Yes.
We're spending 10 days away. We leave soon. The feeling of being blessed makes all the worries over the years watching the ups and downs in your children's lives touch the heart, and makes you feel complete. Enjoy it, Teresa. That sounds fantastic. A whole family getting to go on a vacation. You'll never forget it, even if things go wrong.
And that's tough to coordinate. It's very tough to coordinate with everybody's schedules.
But they're grown children coming to them and saying, let's do this.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Something to be thankful for.
Hey, don't forget today is also National Grilled Cheese Day.
Yes.
Be a great night to celebrate.
I know. We were touching on that in 3 Things to Know today. And maybe you knew this already, Murph, that it apparently was invented in the 1920s during the Great Depression.
Oh, I did not know that.
As you ate what you had.
Yeah.
And we're going to, this is what we have at the house. Let's just grill it up. Let's make the best of it. And it turns out to be such a great comfort food.
Yeah.
They do say one of the best ways to do it, well, you can play all day long with different kinds of cheeses, but to do 2 types of cheese.
Yeah, or more.
Well, okay. I like the idea of 2.
Yeah.
And then you got to grill it on both sides with butter. You got to actually grill it.
Yeah.
So enjoy that. And look, thank you for sending us your emails and your comments and questions. We love, connecting with you in social media. All right, Sam, tell us about Factor.
Factor, I was thinking the other day, one of the reasons we like to go to restaurants is because the food's always good and you don't have to do with anything.
I know.
And it's kind of the same the method behind Factor meals. Ready-to-eat meals delivered right to your door. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And they are gourmet because
fresh.
they are chef-crafted. They're dietitian approved. They come right to your door. In fact, next week, one of the items on the menu, chimichurri, filet mignon, and shrimp. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it comes to you. You don't have to worry about how to fix the shrimp or the filet. 2 minutes in the microwave, and it's done. That's how all the meals from Factor come. They're pre-prepared, chef-made, and if you're on a special diet, they have a Calorie Smart plan or a Protein Plus, even keto plans that you can get. And right now, they're all 50% off if you use the special code that I'm about to give you.
Okay.
Factormeals.com. The code is... Are you ready?
MSJ5. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I thought you were wanting me to give it.
Go ahead.
MSJ50.
Yes, you've been listening. MSJ50. That gets you 50% off at factormeals.com.
And this podcast is brought to you by Factor.